Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to speak about starting an Amazon private label business with $1,000. So starting with $1,000, it's going to be a less risky investment because $1,000 isn't as scary as investing 3,000 or whatever up front. However, you're not going to get as good of a deal on your shipping or your product cost because you won't be able to buy it in bulk, and this means that you'll have to pay more per item for both the shipping and the product cost. So, five main points I really want to make here. The first being return on investment. So, if you have $1,000, you're going to be looking to turn that into, hopefully $2,000 or $3,000 once you've sold all your inventory. There's no sense in, searching a product up and then selling it for, a $300 profit once all your items have been sold, because after you spend all this time looking for a product, shipping it, and then finally selling it all, there's no point in making $400 profit after 6 months of work. So you definitely want to find a product with a high profit margin. Like I said, if you can turn $1,000 into $2,000, that's probably worth your while. So typically, if you're finding a product that has a good profit margin like this, you're probably gonna have to scale back in the amount of sales or the potential amount of sales you can make in the future, because products that have tons of sales and also have huge profit margins probably don't exist because the competition has already snatched those good ones up. So you're probably gonna have to look for something that doesn't sell quite as much volume, but you can still make a good return on your investment because it has large profit margins. The second point, it comes to establishing your brand. So when you're picking a product that isn't very competitive, this means that you're not going to have to spend a ton of money on, PPC, which is Amazon's pay-per-click ad system. You're not going to have to spend a bunch of money on that because, if you only have 3 people or 4 people to compete with, you don't need to work your way up from, page 3 to be found for the product that you're selling. So that's a nice thing about having an uncompetitive niche. You'll also have to spend less on getting reviews. So to compete with more competitive sellers that would be selling the same product as you, you'd need to pay money to brand and advertise your product well, or you need to give away product for the hope that the people that you gave really discounted rates to or free items to would give you reviews. But like I said, if you're not in a competitive niche, you don't need to amass as many reviews, and it'll be easier to kind of break into the market for that product. So, third point, and it's very crucial, is minimizing your extra costs. These are things like shipping, tax, duty, and the biggest one of all is your Amazon fees. So if you can find products that have, that are small, lightweight, that's going to really save you money in the shipping category as well as the storage category for Amazon's fees. You don't want to find products that have 30 to 50%, or they can even go higher, but duty costs. You want products that have low duty costs. I shoot for under 10% on any product. You don't want to be spending, if you have $1,000 to begin with, you can't be spending 2, 3, 400 of that in duty costs. So make sure you do your research beforehand and just find a product that doesn't have high duty costs, or none at all is even more preferable. And then Amazon fees, which is the toughest part. Amazon takes their 15% commission, which is their referral fee, and they take that on anything sold on Amazon. In terms of physical products, I think they have different rates for books and stuff like that, but the large majority of private label products you'd be selling, they take their 15% fee, and then if you're using their FBA program, you're also taking fairly significant fees just for them to pick, pack, and ship, I think they call it, your products. So that can sometimes be, $3, $4, $5 per item sold. And if you have smaller, lightweight products, that can really lower those fees, and it just means more profit for you. And that kind of brings me to the next point, and which is consider selling FBM. So fulfilled by Amazon is where your products are held at Amazon, and they will do all the shipping and returns and stuff for you. Fulfilled by merchant, or FBM, is where you hold your inventory at your house and just ship it yourself. So Amazon would still be taking that 15% fee off the top, but if you're shipping it, from your house, you're not paying Amazon for shipping. You do all the shipping rates, and you have to pay for the shipping yourself. And this way, you're just saving a lot of money on monthly storage fees, and more savings equals more return on your investment, which, like I talked about with my first point, is just very important for people with small budgets. Last point, being able to find a manufacturer that will deal with low minimum order quantities. So if you only have $1,000, it's going to be tough to buy a ton of a product, and you're going to need to be looking for manufacturers that are willing to work with lower numbers of products built or bought at the start. A lot of factories, depending on the price of the item, will always say no lower than 500 or even 1,000 sometimes, but sometimes you'll have to negotiate, and maybe you can only afford 200 units with that $1,000, taking into account that you're going to have to pay for shipping, duty, and Amazon fees. So a good strategy sometimes with some of these companies, if they're quite stubborn on the minimum order quantity, is just kind of explain that you want to do a small test order to begin with, you can kind of spin it as, I just want to make sure the quality is good before I make a huge bulk order with you guys. And this will sometimes kind of let them be less strict with that minimum order quantity number, and you can buy products in groups of 100 or 200. Like I said, with lower order quantities, you are going to be paying a higher cost per item for both the product and for shipping, but that's just how it goes when you only have $1,000 or so to spend on your first product. So that's basically the 5 main points I wanted to talk about. In addition to all of this, you still have to do product research. So if you only have $1,000, you probably are not going to want to be spending money on a paid product research tool like I use. Jungle Scout is the one that I use. It's great for finding a product, but if you're starting out with low cash, you're going to want to allocate all that money to your product and the shipping, and you don't want to be spending extra money on paid resources when there are free resources that are out there that can help you find your product. So I will link my Jungle Scout link down below, just in case you guys want to check it out. And it can be very useful for finding a product. I think you can even buy it, and then I think you can get 14 days of free use, and you can get a refund if you didn't like it or found your product already and you don't want to pretend like you didn't like it. So that is an option. Just know that I think it's about $50 or $40 for a month of product research with Jungle Scout. There are lots of other tools out there. Just Google them, because I don't really know them, but you can use those to help you find your products. A good one that I know of is Unicorn Smasher. That's a good free one. You guys can use that in place of the Jungle Scout Chrome extension. But anyways, that's just some quick tips on how you can start an Amazon private label FBA or FBM business with only $1,000. And I appreciate all the subscribers I've been getting. I'm up to like 28 or 29 now. It's been growing every day. I appreciate everyone that has subscribed. So any questions you guys want to ask, feel free, message me or leave them in the comments down below and I will be sure to answer them. But besides that, guys, have a good day. See ya.